Unfiltered with Bran Otieno and Dongo Gashane.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Unfiltered, a current affairs podcast that brings you the best analysis, unbiased analysis of news, mostly politics. My name is Bran Otieno. I'm a politics reporter here at The Standard. I'll be hosting this show and alongside my co-host here.
Yes, not against, but
not against. Clearly not against.
Not against, yeah. Alongside my name's I'm Dongo Gashane. I'm also a political reporter, and Brian is my colleague here, and we are going to discuss current affairs issues, the state of our nation, and all that.
Yeah. And we had promised to have in studio Kisii Senator Richard Onyonka, who sent in his apologies. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, but the show continues, and I'll let our guest introduce himself.
I'm Dennis Otiso Molo, a youth advocate and a champion of human rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mr. Otiso, where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, basically,
Mm-hmm.
but I was born and bred in Homa Bay. I've traversed Nairobi, Eldoret, Mombasa, but currently I'm in Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you we are so glad we could have you in studio today, Mr. Otiso.
Okay.
We hope to have a fruitful discussion.
Sure.
And let's get right into it. Bwana Otiso, we are seeing an emergence of the opposition. They're calling themselves the United Opposition. We have the likes of Matiang'I, the likes of Kalonzo, Gachagua, Karua. Do you see these candidates as formidable in challenging President William Ruto?
They are very formidable to the extent that what is the performance of the president? Why are they being formidable? Are they being formidable for just being formidable? Are they being formidable because of the issues they're bringing to the table? The truth of the matter is that anyone living in Kenya and across our neighbors, they can say that life in Kenya is not that simple. In fact, life in Kenya is very, very, very expensive. It's very hard due to the bad policies by the government of the day, that is Kenya Kwanza. So it makes it very easy for the opposition to rally the masses, to rally the people, and to make their work very much easy to be against the government of the day, to support or to rally their support against the policies of the day. So I'm seeing the opposition being united. I'm seeing the president being a one-term, as they say it, and I'm not seeing any hindrance to that because of the policies again.
You don't see any hindrance to the opposition being united? What of competing ambitions among all these candidates?
Yeah, there are politicians, competing ambitions will arise, and that is for sure they will be there. The only thing that will happen is that all of us are united in one thing, that we must make sure Ruto becomes a one-term president. So at the right time, we'll find that who is this person who can kick this ball? Who is this person who will strike this goal? And that's what will bring Kenyans together. In fact, Kenyans are more united even than the opposition itself. If today you look at the opposition figures we have currently, they have their down, they have their ups, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses. But if you look at the people are very satisfied with the government. So it is the people that the opposition will follow. The opposition today, they're just riding on the wave of the citizens, because the citizens are the ones who are against this government. So the opposition are riding on that wave. So what will happen, in my view, I think, is that who's the best candidate within the opposition who can score this goal? Because again, all of them have different strengths. They can't be the same. All of them are bringing different things to the table, and everyone has their own experiences.
So now, Dennis, according to you, who among these opposition leaders that you feel has the capacity, the ability, and the oomph to oust President William Ruto come 2027?
Okay, that is a question that can be discussed.
But I'm asking your opinion from where you sit.
Yeah, from where I sit.
Yes.
I did say that it can be discussed because, in Kenya, politics, a day is a very long time. As out of today, I'll give you a candidate. But when we come to 2027, that may change. But if I'm to give my view and my reasons, the only candidate from where I sit who can make or who can give the president and his administration a sleepless night is Honorable Fred Matiang'I. That is my view. I understand there are different variations to that, and there are different reasons to that. But from where I see it, Matiang'I can give the president and his administration sleepless nights.
Why? Why do you believe so?
One, we look at the acceptability. Now that one will lead me to discuss all these opposition figures. If I start with Mother Karua, she's been around for the longest time possible. She has served, but she has not yet broken the ceiling. She has not yet gotten in touch with the people. She does good things. She fights for the human rights. But what is her connectability with the people? How can you sell Mother Karua to the people? I don't know whether I will be biased to say that maybe our country, we are still male. We still male a patriarchal society. But she's a good candidate. But when now you expose her against William Ruto, I think she will stand a very slim chance, even if she's supported by the rest of the oppositions. If you come to a person like Gachagua, he's a good person, in fact. He's the key man in the opposition. The difference is that other regions in our republic have started viewing him with what is being sold, that he is a tribal leader. And again, he has projected himself to defend a given region. Even though the same problems or the same challenges this region is facing are the same challenges that every other region is facing. When you're talking about extrajudicial killing from the Kenya Kwanza administration, it cuts across the board. And we can give the figures, we can give the statistics, we can give even the names.
Now, Dennis,
yes,
you pose a very interesting point that Matiang'I is among the in terms of president, is the only person who can match President William Ruto's energy, and you say that he will give him sleepless nights. But you understand that based on the country's pattern, even in the past, regions have voted, or people have voted alongside their regions.
That's very true.
And I'm coming to a point of a political constituency. If you look at Gachagua, the former deputy president, or the impeached, if you like, he has created a niche. When you come to Mount Kenya region, we can say that that is his constituency.
That's very true.
Now, Kalonzo Musyoka has controlled Ukambani politics for the longest time.
That's very true.
And he has his party called the Wiper Party, but I understand that it's being rebranded to Wiper Front or something. Gachagua has his party, the
DCP.
Democracy for Citizens Party. Karua has her party called PLP. We also have Wamarwa, who is also a member of the United Opposition, the DAP Kenya. And what is the other candidate? Then a member of opposition.
We have JB Muturi with DP.
Yes, DP. But Matiang'I, number one, he has no constituency. This is the only leader we can say is a political greenhorn, in that he has never vied for any political seat.
Not even an MC.
Yes, he was only an appointee of former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Number one, he has no constituency. Number two, he doesn't have a party. Although he said something about it, but you're going to tell us more. I heard him say that there are plans to have a party. So, given those two major political scenarios, how then do you say that he is the right candidate for the opposition?
I hope you'll give me a little latitude so that I can explain it better. Number one, what you are saying is very true and is very accurate. What Gachagua has done, he has consolidated his base. What Kalonzo has done has consolidated his base. The disadvantage Matiang'I is having at this time, he has not consolidated his base. But can we see his base? Yes, we can see the base. Can we advise him to do better? Yes, we can advise him to do better. Why is he not consolidated his base? Number one, maybe he's been late in announcing the party. He's been late in mobilizing his base and bringing it together. A few months ago, before Gachagua launched his DCP party, he was a politician in Kenya. And most people were not... He was there. He was like fluid. You could not tell what his constituency is. Until the moment he came and announced his party, until the moment he started campaigning for his party, he brought his party to the fore. That is when he consolidated his party. And give it to him. Today, I can bet that the Mount Kenya region, largely, he can control up to 90% from where I sit. And that will give it to him. You look at Kalonzo, he's been in the game for so long. And you've used a very good word. Matiang'I is a new entrant into this game. He's never run into politics and he's never vied for any seat. That is again one of these strengths. Because if you look at the population, if you look at the masses, what are the masses looking at? What is Gen Z looking at? What is the masses? They're looking at something different. Because the people that are there, talk of Kalonzo, talk of Gachagua, talk of JB Muturi, talk of Martha Karua, they have been in this system for so long. Today, Kenyans, we are fed up with the system. The reason that's why we are talking about Matiang'I is that we are bringing his assertiveness and being that is new. He doesn't belong to this crop of politicians who've been here for the longest time possible. And that is, again, one of his greatest advantage. The greatest advantage is new, so it brings the freshness, are you seeing, into the game.
So before I ask you, I have a question about Matiang'i's base, but I just want to get from you. What do you think about Kalonzo? Because you had spoken about Gachagua and Karua.
Kalonzo is one of the opposition leaders. He is a good leader, but in my opinion, I don't know whether I'll call him timid. He has never tried to stretch beyond the Ukambani region. Today, ask Kalonzo to go, or even his MPs, he's performed in 2013. In fact, he's performed from 2007 when he was a presidential candidate. He came to 2013, came to 2017 and 2022. Look at the performance of Wiper. If you go to Northeastern, can you find a Wiper MP or a Wiper MCA? Largely, you'll struggle to or scratch your head.
But you can find an MP. The Dadaab MP is...
You can also find the Kisii women rep.
Exactly.
You can also win Taita Taveta there.
You'll just find one. But if you compare him against ODM, who have been in the game for that long.
I think we should not compare him with ODM. We should compare him with Matiang'I, because we are discussing about Matiang'I versus Kalonzo.
Yeah, but you see, the point I want to put across is this.
Yes.
Kalonzo has been in the game.
Yeah.
We need to compare him with his peers and how he has performed, so that we can get how strong is he. Are you seeing? And then when we come to the opposition now, we'll compare him with Matiang'I now. And what will give Matiang'I a niche other than Kalonzo. As much as you are saying we have an MP from Dadaab and women rep from Kisii, one or two, if you put Kalonzo numbers into perspective, largely they are from Eastern region. And if you go, for example, to Central region, who are the neighbors, can you find a Wiper MP there?
But then politics, as we all know, is very local.
Yes.
And in Kenya, it's very, we mobilize along ethnic lines.
That's very true.
In the last election,
the
number of voters from Nyamira and Kisii, which I assume to be Matiang'i's base, was 611,487. Why should he take precedence of Gachagua, whose region produced 3.8 million votes?
That is my point. When you start viewing that politics from that perspective, then Matiang'i will not stand a chance. Let us be very real and be very honest. You won't stand a chance.
Yes.
But I want you to look at the politics of this time from a perspective of what is the people, what are the people saying? Where are the masses headed to?
Where are they headed to?
And that is what I'm answering now. If you look at Matiang'I, for example, he will easily cut across a given age group. You can call them the Gen Zs.
Yes.
He will cut across the class. Are you seeing? The 2027 election, if we go the tribal way, counting who has what, then Ruto will come back. We are trying to look at a candidate who's going to bring the votes from, and for your statistics, if you remember in 2023 we are registered 22 million voters. How many voted? 7.1 plus 6.9, around 14. So we have 8 million who never voted. So why did these 8 million not vote? Maybe the presidential aspirants we had at that time did not excite them.
Why Matiang'I?
I'm coming to that question.
Why not Maraga?
I'm coming to that question. Yes, I'm coming to that question. So today, if you look at someone like Matiang'I and try to analyze him from Kisii and Nyamira, to be very honest, you'll stand no chance. That is a fact. But if you bring Matiang'I, take him to Central, can he garner some votes there? That's the question you should be asking yourself.
Can he?
Let me say this.
Yes.
And you say that he was late in, he has been late in launching.
Yeah, he has been late, that's true.
The party. So before we go to the question of on whether he stands a chance in Central region, why is he launching a party and we have the Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, who hails from Mount Kenya region, and by the way, the Jubilee Party has its base in Mount Kenya region. Why did Matiang'I opt for a new party that, other than joining the Jubilee Party?
Before I answer that question, I wanted you to answer the question that I've asked, because at the end of the day, we need to just oppose these people. Just carry Gachagua, take him to Kisii,
Yes.
and then carry Matiang'I, take him to Central.
Yes.
Ask who will harvest from who.
Who will harvest from who?
That would be I would have been in a position to respond to that question if Matiang'I has held a rally alone in Mount Kenya region. Remember, Matiang'I has already held a rally in...
But he was in Thika the other day with Wamshomba.
After church service.
It doesn't matter, but he was there. We saw the reception.
Yes, but you see,
Yes.
how many other times has he held rallies in Mount Kenya region?
They are very
So my
limited.
point is, if he holds a rally
Yes.
alone in Mount Kenya region,
Yes.
we see the reception, we see the leaders who are accompanying him. We may judge by that fact. But as for now, it is only fair to say Matiang'I has only held a rally, a major one, actually,
In the company of others.
but where he held that rally alone, it is in his home turf. Is that true or not?
That's true.
So the other question I was asking you is a
The
bit
question of the
rhetorical. Is a bit rhetorical, but also requires an answer.
Yes.
Because if then Matiang'I can be, by the way, you said that he has his base. What is this base were you talking about?
I was defending the base. That's why when I was defending the base, that's why I told you it will cut across a generation.
Or generation. You are saying Gen Z's could be his constituency.
Be his constituency, because truth be said, we are in the social media. We've seen people talk. Gen Z's are not with Gachagua. That's a fact, and they have come time without number denying so. If you look at class, these middle class people, they tend to resonate more with Matiang'I. If you look the way he presents himself, even from the interviews he's held, even when from the meetings he's held in the US, he's addressing the middle class people. Now you see, for now, I'll defend that one as his constituents. Yes.
So why has he been late in launching the party, and why did he not opt to
go
join
for
the Jubilee
Jubilee.
Party?
Okay, because we are politicians, we need to tell each other the truth. Since multi-party came, the only party that has managed to go back to the presidency or to power is KANU. That was from 1992 to 97 and 97 to 2002. From 2002 till date, no party has ever repeated itself to power. We had ANAC, we had PNU, we had TNA URP, we had Jubilee, we have UDA.
Yes.
So Matiang'I picking Jubilee, he will come up with the ghosts of the past. Secondly, that one will portray him as a project, of which his tag has been given, of which we surely ask, can you define what's a project? Because if there is a project by the fact that he worked with Uhuru Kenyatta, then Ruto was also the biggest project. He was the deputy president of Uhuru Kenyatta. So when he comes with that Jubilee party, it will be disadvantageous to him. From a perspective, number one, it has its ghost. Number two, it will be seen as a man of not himself. He needs to come with a lot of authenticity. He needs to come with a person of creativity, that I can build something on my own. And for your information, Uhuru Kenyatta was the party leader of KANU. If you remember in 2013, 2012, he left KANU and built what? TNA. Because people wanted to know what kind of mentor is he.
So,
But listening to you,
Yes.
I get the point that, you know, as you try to define Matiang'I's base,
Yes.
it's not really his base, it's the base that he wants to now cultivate. Is that the case?
It is the base that is warming towards him.
So he has no base.
He has a base. He has a base. Because what the first question I will ask you is this. When we define that, I told you, before Gachagua made DCP, we assumed that Mount Kenya was for him. When he made DCP, we confirmed the same.
Fair point.
Are we following the same?
Yeah.
It's a fair point, yeah.
Are you following the same?
Yes.
So today when I'm telling you like Matiang'I has a base, the only thing I'll say about him is that he has not consolidated.
So which base, when you talk about Gachagua in Mount Kenya,
Yes.
and now Matiang'I, so which is this base that you believe belongs to Matiang'I?
I've given you an example of the Gen Zs.
Exactly. And I want you to go into that point again. You say Gen Zs are Matiang'i's base, but
Yes.
on social media,
Yes.
they seem to be warming up more towards David Maraga, not Matiang'i.
I've not seen so, because the same social media, you saw Maraga launch a website of fundraising. True?
True.
How has it performed? You're in the media. Can you tell us?
But
Number two, Maraga has been moving around. Can you count for me the number of Gen Zs he's been moving around with? What Maraga has done, in my opinion, and I want to be fair, is been an opportunist. A person who waits that Gen Z wako na maandamano, anaenda hapo Nation Center hapo kidogo anaruka ndani. That is a fact.
Let me ask you, Dennis.
Because today, how has he organized these Gen Zs?
Dennis.
how has Matiang'i organized Gen Zs?
I'm coming to that.
No,
I'm coming to that right
come
away.
to that right now.
Wait first. Why do I say that Matiang'i is a Gen Z candidate? We need to have an history behind it. Let's look at this Matiang'i when he was Cabinet Secretary for Education. Today, everybody can say Matiang'i performed. And this is the generation that was with Matiang'i in school. The same generation that is here, we're calling the Gen Zs. The same generation Matiang'i performed is the same generation that is embracing him. Or are you denying that Matiang'i never performed in the education ministry?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
debatable.
We also talk about his...
No, if you just there your views.
Yeah, we will talk about his performance in the education ministry, and
Yes.
also we will talk about
interior.
how he did when he was in interior docket.
Yes.
But before we get to that,
Yes.
when you say that Matiang'i is warming up to Ama for the Gen Z's support,
Yes.
when he had the chance to organize for the homecoming, we never saw him crisscrossing parts of Nairobi. He went back to his rural place. And then you are telling us, which is a very good point, a very good opinion,
Yes.
that this is the only guy who cuts across the political divide. Yani, he can be accepted in Mount Kenya, he can
Yes.
be accepted in Mombasa coast,
In coast, you can be
But-
said in Eastern.
but when he held a homecoming in his home turf,
Yes.
doesn't that now take him to the ethnic mobilization strategy as opposed to presenting himself as a national leader?
If I may ask you, how many times has he gone to his home counties?
A very good, a very fair,
let's be very
observation.
honest.
But how
Yes.
many other times has he also held rallies across the country? Because that question can be responded to in both ways. Because yes, he has not gone to his home turf, but we have seen him in coast, we have seen him in Maa region, we have seen him in Rift Valley, but we have not seen him in those regions, but at least we have seen him mobilizing support, ethnic support. So why? How
you
is
are the one
the
branding
question
him
is,
so,
the
because
question is
I
how,
saw Matiang'i
how is Matiang'i
in Kitale.
how
This is
Matiang'i-
Trans Nzoia. I saw Matiang'i in Bungoma. That's a different county. I saw Matiang'i in Kakamega.
it was climax to where?
But I saw him there. Was he there? Did he communicate? What reception did he get?
So are you saying that Matiang'i is not
You see-
looking forward to the 1.5 million votes from Gusii community?
I'm not saying so. He's looking forward for every vote in Kenya, including the 8 million from Central. Yeah, that's true. And by the way, if we want to get it right as a country also, let us not define these leaders from that perspective of where are you mobilizing from. That's where the rain started beating us. You see, the moment we want to classify Matiang'i from the Kisii region, the moment he comes to power, that's how we'll be viewing him. Unless we mobilize
But Dennis, you have
differently,
just told us
we will not.
that Kalonzo is seen as a leader within Ukambani, and
Yes.
that is why you believe he is not the right candidate for the opposition.
Yes.
Then you are saying, you're telling us are the same mouth that we should not define the rights of Matiang'i based on where they come from. Aren't you
No,
eating your own
it is
words?
not a double speak, but I want you to understand it from this perspective.
Yes.
Let me repeat myself, number one. Number one, when we judge someone, how do we judge them? We judge them against their performance.
Yeah.
Are you seeing? When I was talking about Wiper and talked about ODM, I think he did say that we are comparing peers.
Yes.
So when I'm coming up with a conclusion that Kalonzo Musyoka largely, I've not said wholly, but I said largely
Yeah.
enjoys the support of eastern part of it, I have statistics to prove that, because it's not the first time he's coming into the game. Are you seeing? That is why I'm judging from that perspective, because number one is not new. The reason as to why Matiang'I is not facing the same kind of scrutiny is because he's a new entrant, and from the onset you did say he's a greenhorn in politics. That's what you did say. So we are judging him. What is your entry point? Are you seeing?
Yeah.
And then I'm giving you my view that if we need to mobilize well in Kenyan politics to bring the hygiene, when we are defending these people, let us not defend them from the entry point. Are you seeing? And how do we start it? I'll start it with you, because you are a new blood. And with you. The old blood we can judge, because already we know their behavior.
So Matiang'I,
Yes.
as my colleague said, is a greenhorn in politics.
Yes.
Which is debatable.
Yes.
You know, someone who held the interior ministry, can he be considered a greenhorn?
Yes,
But
he can.
yeah, but then assuming that he's a greenhorn, he's relying on political greenhorns, Gen Zs. Do you think that's a very wise move?
A very wise move. How is he relying on them? Because what is happening, what I understand, basically, we present ourselves into elections. When you present yourself into an election, you brand yourself. That's the way you will brand yourself. Someone will choose, I'll brand myself from a tribal perspective. Someone will choose, I'll brand myself from a performance perspective. I'll brand myself from a class perspective. Like the last election, you saw Ruto branding himself from class. That's why he was talking about the hustlers versus the so and so. That was this kind of brand. And then the numbers now tallied to him. Today, if Matiang'I is a greenhorn, yes, and these greenhorns show up on the ballot, will you say that now you're not a president?
But they have they are criticized for never showing up.
They are criticized for never showing up. Does it not mean they can't show up?
Tell us, does it mean
No, that's what I'm asking.
Do you think they'll show up?
Yes, they will show, because, and let me prove it. For the longest time possible, the demonstrations in Kenya were created to Raila Amolo Odinga.
True.
For the longest time possible. No one ever thought that someone else outside Raila Amolo Odinga can organize a demonstration. But today you have different answers. True? And the reason as why these answers are quite different is that we do not understand who we are going to negotiate with. Then we knew that we could negotiate with Raila. Now even the mobilization, are you seeing? These people come to various spots to demonstrate, no one understands. That's even the government itself flip-flops. And that's the beauty about this generation. Yes.
Now, let us talk about Matiang'i's party and probably the status of the party, and when can we expect for the party launch, and the face, whether the party will have the face of the nation. In this I mean leaders from across the country, and also whether he will what the party probably will stand for, because every political party must stand for something. Yeah,
I think it's a good question, but I don't know whether I'm the one to answer the question. But what I will say is,
you
my
try
counsel,
where you can. You know, you are giving
is
just
my
opinion.
advice
Yes,
that I
advice,
give,
opinion.
because at the end of the day, you'll
Yes.
have to make the decision.
Yeah,
From where I sit now, these are my personal opinion.
yeah.
From where I sit, I will ask of him to come up with a party. Number one, the party should have the face of the Republic of Kenya, and should have all generations considered. The party should stand for the ideals that Kenya as a nation we stand for. That is what I'll say. The only thing I'll say is that I'll only ask him not to come with a party that has an history. Yes.
So a new party,
Yeah, that's what
just
I'll
like
say.
what Gachagua did.
Just
by-
like what Gachagua does, just like what Uhuru Kenyatta did, just like what William Ruto did, just like what every other person does. Yes.
So you're asking him to, is it to change the forest but retain the same monkeys or what?
I've not said so. What I've said, in fact, you see, when we're talking about the forest, we are talking about, let me equate these political parties to be the forest. By the way, if you've done more about political parties, those things are institutions. And when they're institutions, there's cultures that are invented in there. That's why you get like, okay, I'm sorry to say this. If you've been to the media, you've seen what is happening in DAP Kenya. That is a coup going down there.
What's happening?
You'll get to know about it, but it's happening. It's happening. People call it a coup. People call it restructuring, but it is happening.
They want to dethrone
it is happening.
Eugene Wamalwa.
I've not said so, but something is happening down there. When Ruto was in UDM, something happened. When Raila was in ODM Kenya, something happened. So when we say that we advise someone to come up with a new party, we have reasons to that.
Because he can be
culture.
Yeah, you have to get out of this culture.
Yeah.
Because it is like today, you talk of, let's say, ODM. If you hear Sifuna is speaking a language of the people, but if you hear the party speaking another language, that's why the Sifuna will speak differently in Kakamega, and then in Nairobi, he'll tell now this is the position of the party. Are you seeing? So which one supersedes the other? I think you are getting the concept I'm coming from.
But Matiang'I is associating himself with politicians who have been there, they have done that.
He's not coming alone.
So
yes, when you mobilize, when you do what? When you mobilize, you must come with all, you must bring everybody.
And they come with
the
and
table.
they come with their
I'm
bad
answering
manners.
that. I'm answering that. You see, as a republic, number one, thieves and let me call them Christians or holy people, or people who are not thieves, they all belong in the same republic. All these people are yours. You must take care of them. So when you are mobilizing, when you are doing what?
Mobilizing.
When you are mobilizing, you will onboard everybody. Nanielewa? But when you have your party, that's the truth. When you have your party, you have a manifesto, you have the ideals you stand for, and that's what will carry the day. Today we have a constitution, for information, that has chapter 6. Have you seen people who have failed chapter 6 in parliament?
Yeah, we do.
Will you blame the constitution or will you blame the people?
But Otiso, you agree with me that Gen Zs want a reset.
That's very true.
So how is Matiang'I resetting it when he's
With the people who you have branded as system.
The people have branded as system.
Yeah, the likes of Kanazu, yeah, the people who have always been there. And then now, this good person who is assertive, he's not associating himself with Gen Zs. He's tagging along.
Unless you want me to segregate Kenyans, but I want to give you a simple story. Do you know someone by the name David Muiraria?
Yeah.
He was a very close friend of
Kibaki.
When we had a scandal, what did Kibaki do? Because these things, in fact, the good book says there's nothing new under the sun. That's true.
True.
So these things we have to learn how they've been done. Today, Matiang'I becomes the president. Down the line, we find, let's say even Natembea has done an offense to the constitution that is against the law will take its course. Is that not the fact? Does it mean now, because now I want to be president, sitaki ile kura? Do you know, but even people who are in the jail, they vote.
That's okay, but...
See, we are getting it.
Yeah,
I'm
getting it.
But
what we should be protecting more, it is someone who can live to the ideals. I usually tell people, you are the people that God has given. I cannot go and manufacture my people. So I have to work with you people.
I don't know why I'm getting a sense like Matiang'I wants to use these people as a radar to presidency, and then now he can then throw them under the bus. This is why I'm saying
it's not about Matiang'I throwing someone
let me explain
under the
my
bus.
point.
Yes.
On one hand, you say that Kalonzo presents himself largely as a leader of Ukambani region. Gachagua is perceived to be tribal. Karua has been there. She has never, you said she has never broken the, is it the ceiling?
The ceiling, so if I may say.
So why then can't you brand yourself as a clean leader without associating yourself with these other people who stand for nothing, with these other people who are in the class of the political class, who have been there and done nothing?
Do they have votes?
They do.
Will you want them to vote you?
But they are also
Are you saying
presidential candidates.
I have no problem with
Right?
that. But are you telling me that if someone has a criminal record, they should not vote?
They should vote. This is my
They
point.
should vote.
They-
I'm getting your point. You see,
Matiang'I is not campaigning.
a minute, sir.
Matiang'I is not convincing these other leaders
A minute,
to
sir.
vote for them.
Yes.
They are equal partners, and that's why he is even coming with his party.
But are they equal partners?
But one thing I need you to understand is this. When I give you a view of a leader, am I having facts to that effect? I don't want to be here to brand people that you are from a given place with no facts. Unless you present me different facts of the same, is when I will at least consider your view. For example, is it not public knowledge that the 2013-2017 election, 2022 election, has been a combination of two large tribes? Is that not a fact?
It's a fact.
So when you brand, let's say, Uhuru Kenyatta, that his support largely came from Mount Kenya, are you lying?
You're not lying.
When you say Kalonzo comes from Ukambani and that's where he get most of the support, are you lying?
You're not.
You're not.
Then it's not that I'm branding them.
No, it's not about
That is
branding.
who they are.
That is true.
That is who they are.
The question-
Mother Karua has been in Kenya. In fact, she was even a judge, a magistrate, if I'm not wrong. Are you seeing? So we are judging her against her records. And by the way, I've not said she has a bad record. Don't think I've just said is that she politically she has not attracted
She has not
beyond
connected.
Gishugu.
Yeah.
Politically, she has not attracted beyond Gishugu. By the way, you see someone like Gachagua is a one-term MP and a quarter-term, as they call it, deputy president. But his politics has attracted beyond Madira. That's a fact.
This is a man who was DO in
Yeah,
an era when DOs were very powerful.
It's very true. But politically,
They were very connected to the ground. So
yes, so he has brought his skills to that.
Yeah.
Are you seeing?
and you know, even as DO,
Yes.
you're a political animal. The DO is the
But-
representative of the president.
But administratively,
Yeah, but he's the representative of the president. So
being the representative doesn't mean like today we say in our constitution that ministers are not what? Are not political. But what do we say our ministers do? Have you not seen John Mbadi campaigning for Ruto?
And even Murkomen.
Have you not said Murkomen? Have you not seen Joe?
So you can't compare Gachagua to. My point is that you can't compare Gachagua to Matiang'I because Gachagua is someone who was in politics even before he was elected MP. Yeah,
So you can't compare the two.
you can't.
So what are you saying in other words? So if you can't compare the two,
You can't compare the two. Matiang'I is not on Gachagua's.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I may pose the question, because we have a national responsibility,
Yeah.
a national duty of making sure William Ruto goes home. Of all these animals, right? The ones in opposition. If we put that, now we need who stands a chance. Can't you give a guess to it? Yes. Remember, even
Who
you.
stands a chance? My honest thinking is that I'm being very honest.
Yes.
Is that Matiang'I stands no chance. I tend to.
That's your view. Huh?
I tend to analyze.
This show is called
Yeah.
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
We give our views without
Without feelings.
without
no,
fear
yes.
or favor.
I tend to analyze politics historically. You know,
Yes.
the only way that I think I can analyze politics best is looking at the past.
That's true.
What has the past told us? It has told us that, as you said, politics has been a matter of two large ethnic communities teaming up and producing the president.
That's true.
And sadly, that's a very sad state of affairs. It's a very sad state of affairs. But that's the case. That's what we have in Kenya. When you look at Matiang'I, you look at his numbers. I mean, you're tempted to think that this guy stands no chance of being president.
Okay. You've analyzed it well, but now the question I'll pose to you as I give my opinion, that type of politics, where has it landed us? You know the answer. And today, where do we say, some of us, that the split between William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua is a blessing to Kenyans? It is a blessing to Kenyans, Because, as you've said rightly, that historically these two big tribes have been bullying us. They've been
Not
telling
bullying.
No, it's like bullying. You see, but then if you remember the tyranny of numbers,
Actually, I was telling you about
debate.
tyranny of numbers.
You
I
see?
don't think because these large ethnic communities have huge numbers.
Yes.
I do not think that I would equate that with bullying other tribes. This is about ethnic, and Brian has put it aptly that this country is unfortunately tribal.
That's true.
And even now, from where I see it, the reason why Matiang'I decided to go for a rally that climaxed in his home area is that he first, and I believe there were media reports that in one of their sittings with the opposition leaders, he was told by Gachagua, can you first of all go and consolidate your region and come back?
It was even in an interview.
Yes.
There's an interview Gachagua
Yes,
did
and
with
he did that.
FM.
Why did he do that? Why did Matiang'I adhere to Gachagua's instructions or directives? Well, because you come from somewhere, and first of all, you need to consolidate your people so that as you come, you can tell me I am commanding this number, and I believe Matiang'I heeded to Gachagwa's advice because he knew that he needed to have blessings from his own people. And
Just
rightly
just to correct you,
his,
so that
yes.
we don't misinform our audience, when Gachagua had the interview, Matiang'I had already gone to Kisii. Let us be very clear. Now, Gachagua came to Eges FM, and the interview, that is when he said, Matiang'I should mobilize this 2.5 million. And then he went on and gave us an example of Simbarati, the governor of Kisii. He did say that the other day I saw Simbarati with Matiang'I, and today I'm seeing him with a different thing. So it's not that Matiang'I took the advice from Gachagua. Matiang'I had already met his constituents.
But he said that in an interview.
Yes,
with one of the
he did say
Matiang'I
it.
himself said that when he was told by his colleagues to go and consolidate, that he said that is what he did. That was Matiang'I said that. And
To the best of my knowledge, I've not seen that. Maybe you will need. Then number two, you see, when you're talking about this, let's not limit it to Matiang'I alone.
Yes.
We are talking about the opposition. I think that's what I got the question. You've dealt on Matiang'I a lot.
We will go to the
which
opposition,
is
don't
fair
worry.
again.
Yes.
But one thing I need you to see, because all of you are Kenyans, and when we are canvassing these issues, we should not canvass them as if we are spectators.
Yes.
We should canvass them as the people who will make these things happen. And as you've said it, we've learned from history. In most cases, our country has mobilized along ethnic lines. So the question I will ask, or I will pose to the audience, even to you, are you happy with our country and our governance as it is today?
And the question that many Kenyans would pose to you is that, are you happy with Matiang'i's legacy as interior CS? We talk about the history of extrajudicial killings, the Rivayala, dumpings. Are you happy with that legacy?
I don't know why you are selective, because as you are talking about Rivayala, are you talking about Kapedo, the peace that came in the north? I don't know whether you're talking about. You see, when you want to be fair, you judge someone fairly. There are things that have happened in our country that are very unfortunate, and in most cases, we tend to blame the people at the helm of it. Matiang'I himself, and if I may quote him, he did say, instead of us peddling words in TV shows, in radios, in social media, why don't we have a commission of inquiry? Today we have 3 years down the line. There's a new regime that is in power, that has all the apparatus in terms of as much as security is concerned. If Matiang'I had been involved, why have they not taken an action? Are you saying Matiang'I is so powerful that they can't take an action?
But can he run away from this?
Yes, he can. The truth is, it doesn't mean Brian, because we are here and this is at standard, something happens there, so Brian is involved. No, we need to be very clear
Dennis.
to that perspective.
Dennis.
And yes,
Matiang'I, I have reason to consider Matiang'I not once, saying that somebody has to take the blame. And he has accused the president and the CS for Interior,
Yes.
Kipchumba Murkomen.
Yes.
But when it comes to his case, you want to tell us that you see we should look at the issue, the piece in Kapendo, if he was culpable. But
No, I've not said so. What I've said, Matiang'I himself is on record, and I think you can find it. He said we can have a public inquiry into that, and everybody will be called there, and it will be.
But it is under
Isn't
his
it true?
reign that those cases happened.
And that's why we are calling for a public inquiry.
But he was very strong against opposition protests when he was Interior CS. I mean, by putting his opinion that strongly out there, don't you think that he bears some responsibility for the violence meted on protesters by police?
I was here in March. Was it in March? On January 31st, I think. I'm missing the dates. When Raila Amolo Odinga was swearing himself in Uhuru Park, the CS Interior was Matiang'I. How many deaths were recorded on that day?
I don't have the numbers, but
None.
but when he came back from the US,
I'm building on that.
Uh-huh.
None. Number two, we should also find that, and we should understand that, for example, because we are learned, you've gone through our constitution well. You know the police are independent. Is it true?
on paper.
No, not on paper. You see, it's a perception. You want to believe what you believe. You know, change comes the time.
But can you really say, even under the current
Yes,
regime,
yes.
can you say that the police are independent? Can you say that
Under
and
the-
believe it? Can you say it and believe it, that the police are independent?
They ought to be independent.
They ought to
They
be.
ought to
That
be.
is true. We also believe. But do you believe they are independent as they ought to be?
To some extent, yes. To some extent, no. Yes.
Was that the case under Uhuru's presidency?
Under Uhuru's presidency, I think to the large extent they were independent. That's why even the deputy president then was putting squarely the blame on Mtiambai, if you remember. If you remember very well,
What was the deputy president, the then deputy president saying?
the
That
then
the
deputy president did say
that the criminal justice system
Yeah.
has been
been
weaponized against
to fight
him
the
and his
political
supporters.
rivals.
Thank you. And he went ahead and said the Inspector General Mutiambai is the most incompetent in the entire world. Did you hear that statement?
Why?
Did you hear that statement? Because he was putting it where it belongs.
because he was taking instructions from other quarters.
That is what you believe. But what do we get?
So another thing,
Yes.
in his reign as the CS for Interior,
Yes.
he disobeyed several court orders.
Yes.
And when it comes to a leader who observes the rule of law,
Yes.
do we expect Matiang'I to observe and adhere and follow the rule of law when he becomes the president? Or are we going to replace Ruto with another Ruto?
First and foremost, we need to get things right. Number two, I also need to emphasize that does he have explanations to why he didn't honor those court?
But you don't have
Because in most
explanations. Court orders are given to be respected.
court orders
Not
are
given explanations.
Court orders are given to be respected.
Yeah. They're
not
You find at that time,
Yeah.
maybe you find at that time is somewhere, maybe a presidential function. That's what I've heard him say. You see, number one, we
The
need
court
to,
orders
You know he was
relating
jailed.
to Miguna
Eh?
Miguna.
Do you know he was jailed? You know that he appealed.
and what was the ruling of the appeal?
I think I don't know whether the case has actually ended, but to the best of my knowledge, I think the case is still ongoing. But we are talking about
So
a
you are
leader.
saying the
a
case is
leader
still
who does
ongoing?
not, a leader who does not. Yes, you know when you appeal, the fact of the matter is you are jailed unless the court of appeal sets aside that particular judgment. You remain
A convict.
a convict. So this is a leader. This is a leader.
We
This is a
usually
guy.
say
This is a-
until you exhaust all what? No, that's the cardinal rule.
No, but the
No, but that's the cardinal rule.
but the
The
ruling has
status.
to be
Set
You see,
set aside.
the point
It has
is,
to be
eh,
It's
vacated.
like what you are saying. Gachagua
The
starts
point-
are impeached because the courts have not set aside the impeachment, right? Do you believe so?
because the court has not set aside
The impeachment.
impeachment.
Yes.
Uh,
Do you
Gachagua,
believe so? So he starts.
but he's in
impeached.
court.
Yes,
He's in court.
but has the court set aside the
No,
impeachment?
the question is this: Can you curtail Gachagwa's rights because he's impeached?
That is not my question. My question is Gachagua impeached? Does he stand impeached?
He does.
He's impeached, but he's
Thank
in
you.
court.
so,
He's in court.
So
For
Matiang'I was
example,
jailed,
wait,
but the case is in court.
I have a question. In 2013, we had an election. We had an ICC indictees, true? Did they run for elections?
They did.
Why did they run for elections? Because the case was not done what?
But you know they were not convicted
They were
of
not
anything.
convicted.
Has Gachagua been convicted?
Yes,
By
he
the
was.
Senate.
By the Senate, he was.
No, but the point is indicated because it's debatable. We are in court. Then why are we in court?
But he was convicted at the Senate.
Why are we in court? You see, Senate is a political process.
A trial
and
chamber.
today,
Court
wait
was
first,
judicial.
Yeah.
They have
but
powers.
is also which is political.
Yeah, very
Have
political.
you heard today that there are some people who are given inducements? Are those
that
allegations
is
in
for
there?
Gachagua to
But are those allegations
to
there?
prove in
Yeah.
court. It is not for us. It is Gachagua to prove to the court
Yeah.
that please set aside this impeachment
Yes.
because there were people given inducement
Yes.
to ensure that I'm sent home.
Uh-huh.
So when the court declares
Yes.
you to have violated the law until that particular judgment is set aside. You know, the case of Ruto and Uhuru in 2013, they were never convicted, right? So that is why they vied, I believe so. They were allowed to vie for presidency because the International Criminal Court never convicted them. The case was not heard and determined.
Determined.
So besides that was not my point. So if Matiang'I showed to the country that he cannot respect rule of law, he you remember the case of Miguna,
Yeah, the deportation case.
the deportation case. He even went ahead and arrested he ordered for the arrest of an MP. Is it Kajwang? Who
TJ
was
Kajwang.
TJ Kajwang?
Yes.
Who was
Taken to Ngong.
charged for is it
Treason.
treason?
Yeah. Treason, I remember.
But the courts just dismissed those trumped up charges. So this is a leader you are saying.
So I have
that,
to ask a question because
yes.
you are informed. Who processes the charge sheet?
You see, a very good question. But you said that
No, you see,
the police ought to be independent.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
But you, from where I sit, I can tell you, even during Uhuru's time, the police have never been independent. And that is one of the campaign pledges by President William Ruto. He said that when he is elected president, he would ensure that police will act independently, and that's why he was talking about the financial autonomy of the police.
Of the police.
However, that never materialized because we have also seen police being weaponized. We have seen police being sent to disrupt rallies belonging to the opposition leaders.
Opposition.
So let's talk about what my colleague Brian was talking about Matiang'i's legacy. This is a leader connected to disobeying rule of law, disobeying court orders. You see?
Snapping parliament.
Yes.
He was summoned several times.
Okay, let me ask a question with all fairness. When you talk about Matiang'i's legacy, do we have some positives?
Yeah, they are.
Do you highlight them or do you selectively leave them away and bring the others onto the fore? My point is, we are not looking for an angel.
That's a good point.
Are you seeing?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are not looking for an angel. But of these devils, right? Who can be fairer and who can take us to a better place, so to say, than we are currently. That's why he said, Mugala mwe haki umpe.
Haki umpe.
Matiang'I was in cabinet for 10 years. We have his thumbs up and his thumbs down.
True.
So when we judge him, we should also weigh all of them.
I think that's a very good place to end the show. Bwana Otiso, it's been a very engaging debate, very thoughtful debate as well. We're so glad you could make time for us here.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll just give you a chance for parting shots.
My parting shot is that we as Kenyans, we should be very active. We should be very vigilant, that we do not leave us to be mobilized again the way we've been mobilized since independence, because that one we know is ending. Yeah.
Okay, son. Asante sana Bwana Otiso. That has been Unfiltered. I've been Brian Otieno alongside Bwana Ndungu Gashane. See you next week.
Thank you.
Unfiltered with Brian Otieno and Ndungu Gashane.